Dear honors course registered students, I welcome you all for the warehousing automation course. So now we are learning the course through online mode for the first unit. We have finished say some 8 presentations earlier, and today we shall discuss about the material handling systems. So the syllabus calls for 4 different types of material handling systems: carousels, shuttles and cranes, conveyor system. So today's presentation we will focus on carousels. So what is carousel, how it is, how it works, what are the different types. So all such things we'll learn, and before that we need to know intra logistics. So we'll see all these things, then we'll get into the material handling systems. So as seen in the previous slide, so we have got carousels, shuttles and cranes. Now what is the role of these material handling systems in a automation in a warehouse? What is the purpose? So modern warehouses rely on advanced automation systems to optimize storage, picking and material handling operations. Among the key technologies are carousels, shuttles and crates, each offering unique advantages for inventory management, storage density and operational efficiency. See, we have got two crucial activities as far as warehousing automation is considered. The first is digital automation and the second thing is physical process automation. So digital process is going to confine itself with respect to data oriented algorithms and software. Whereas when we see physical, here physically the material is supposed to move from one point to another point, and that's where our core focus is on. So definitely we need to have some sort of material handling systems to accomplish this task. So as a result, we are going to use different types, and namely 4 types are there from an industrial application. Of course, there are plenty of classification do persist for these 4 different types. So carousels are very basic, followed by shuttles, cranes, and then conveyor systems. So these all are the 4 essential material handling systems. Of course, the final is going to be a robot. So with that, the unit is going to get culminated. First, we need to understand the term logistics. So it is very, very crucial that we need to know the term, understand the term logistics. Because with this logistics only, the physical product movement is going to be assured. So that's how we are going to get into it. So now we'll see a very, very simple analogy pertaining to it. One simple example is we have got Chennai. So somebody from any part of the state, they wanted to reach Chennai. So what all are the different possibilities are there means the first possibility is not no in no particular order. So they can come by means of train. So if they want to reach Chennai, they can come by means of train. Then government is operating apart from private players. The government is going to be one of the major contributors for the case of people those who wish to come to Chennai. So for the different categories of buses are there. So Mafussil buses what we call, and of course the higher segment is going to be by means of air transport. Yes, from different parts of the state or the country or the globe, anywhere we can reach Chennai by means of air. So these are the 3 essential things. Of course, we have got our own vehicles or rented. So I'm not getting so deep into it. For the case of simple understanding, so from inside the state itself, we wanted just to reach Chennai. So first option is going to be no particular order, as I told you. Train is going to be one, state operated buses, government operated buses, followed by flights. Now we have reached Chennai. Now we wanted to come to SVC. Let us assume we wanted to come to SVC. So how is it made possible? Of course, we don't have any train connectivity. So let us assume one thing is we can come by means of some local trains. So local trains are there. Now the first case also we are train, and the second case also we are having train, but what is the basic difference is these are local trains where they tend to travel within certain limit. That means they don't go beyond a local point, say Arakonam or Thiruvallur, whatever may be the case. Then we can go by means of metro transport, local transportation. So maybe from wherever we just got down from central means or central or Egmore somewhere to our college, yes, we can get into it, or else we can rely upon taxis and autos. So this is what the other option we can. Of course, auto may not be possible, but theoretically yes, we can assume as it is possible. So taxis are there, so they are going to be another alternative. So now this is what the analogy is all about. What is the fundamental difference between either options? So the first option is going to be inter-district, something like that. And the second option is intra-district, within the district, that is local cases. So now this is the analogy what we need to register in our mind for the case of logistics in warehouse. Now we'll just fit the same example, the knowledge what we have gained out of this transport to our case. So when materials and products are moving in the company, we can talk about inbound, intra and outbound logistics. So there are three types of logistics what we need to understand. Inbound, incoming, intra, within warehouse or within warehouses of maybe in the same geographical location, and outbound, that is the products which goes to the customer. So likewise there are three things are there: inbound, intra and then outbound. So now we'll see the same with respect to an image. So this is our warehouse. So somebody is supplying the raw material or finished product or WIP to our end. So this is called as inbound logistics. So now what happens in this particular case is we are going to monitor the quality of the product at the incoming point. At the incoming point, quality is going to be monitored, quantity is going to be thoroughly checked, then it is going to be stored appropriately, then database is going to be updated appropriately. So these all are the activities what we do. Outbound, so we have got the data here, and now in this case when it goes out, to the customer, we are going to reduce the number of quantity what we have supplied. We are going to ensure the proper queuing theory is followed by. So everything we are going to consider. So inbound means it's going to be incoming, outbound means it is going to get out of the warehouse to customers. Now our main focus here is we are going to automate this particular area, that is intra logistics. Within the boundary of the warehouse we need to automate. That is what is our core focus is. Or the material handling system what we are going to discuss is going to play a very crucial role only in the case of intra logistics, definitely not in inbound as well not in outbound. It is going to work completely within the warehouse. Therefore intra logistics is going to be the core plot over which we are going to revolve around. Students, I hope I am clear with this concept. So whatever the material handling systems we are going to talk, it is going to completely govern with respect to intra logistics. So this is what you need to register properly inside you. Now intralogistics refers to the internal management. See, whatever the thing we discuss, it's going to be within the boundary of the warehouse. So refers to internal management, control and optimization of material, goods and information flow within a warehouse or distribution center. So it might be a warehouse or it might be distribution center. Earlier we discussed what's the difference between warehouse and distribution center. Warehouse is a general position. Generally we don't worry about any sort of things, only it is a place of storage. But distribution center means usually it will be in the middle. That is what the general understanding is all about. So there is no much difference between warehouse versus distribution center. So we have got a distribution center, and it is going to encompasses all the processes and systems that facilitate the movement, storage and handling of goods, as well as the coordination of inventory information to maximize operational efficiency. So whatever the work we do, ultimately there should be a coordination. This is what the main essence is all about. Incoming, we need to quantify it. Outgoing, we need to quantify it. Then what is the available products in our hand? Yes, everything is supposed to be quantifiable. So intralogistics is going to govern two main attributes. The first attribute is movement of this particular products within the warehouse, within the distribution center. And second thing, it need to account everything. What was the incoming, what was the inbound, what was the outbound, and what is the balance quantity available, and whether the buffer quantity has been met or such things will be dealt. So therefore we can maximize the operational efficiency. So this is what intralogistics is going to have a core association, and the material handling systems what we are going to discuss are the part of intralogistics. The main components of intralogistics in a warehouse processes are the integrated activities and systems that ensure the efficient internal flow of goods and information. These core components include carousels, shuttles, and cranes. So now let us not get confused with respect to loading and unloading. Either cases they will be doing. So the main thing is they are going to ensure the product's local mobility, that is inside the warehouse. That's where we call it as intra logistics. Carousels. So it is a GTP, that is goods to person device, a bin, simple, a plastic bin used to move inventory directly to warehouse associates so it can be picked, packed and shipped out to customers. As a GTP device, goods to person device, carousels can increase warehouse storage density, throughput and efficiency. So carousels are nothing but plastic bins. So these bins are going to be of definite shape and size, and the volume is not going to be surplus. It is going to have a finite volume where for each and every product the carousels are going to be designed. They are going to be developed and manufactured particularly to hold certain number of components. To give you an example, tires. Tires are there for any car. We knew the fact that there are four operational plus one, it is going to be for standby case. So there are five trays, or that is five tires are there. So one carousel will be developed, a bin will be developed, and whatever the shape we go ahead, only one shape it will accept, and maximum it can store is going to be five tires. So therefore, industries OEM, that is original equipment manufacturers, they order only based on the bins, carousels. So now it is easy for us to account, and it is easy for the receiver to account as well. It is going to be a very effective way to store the products, but not for a prolonged period, for a shorter while. So this is what a carousel, this is how a carousel will look like. There are different types of carousels are there. One is going to be standalone. Standalone means only one, for one product will have one carousel. But some cases that may not be practically viable, because if the component sizes are so small, it is very obvious that we should go for multiple components within the tray or whatever the case might be. So we should have a very proper knowledge with respect to size of the product as well as the content, that is the volume what the carousel can contain, has to be taken care. And this is one simple example. So think in a space utilization where volumetric category comes into picture. So carousels are going to be one simple case. See, on the top there are slots are available so that it is easy for us to stack the carousel one above the other. So that's the easy functionality of the carousel is all about. So it is easy for us to stack one above the other, and we can have racks of this nature, and it is easy for us to go ahead with for storage. So that's where we call the storage density, it is going to take care. So carousels are composed of series of rotating shelving units that brings products closer to their picking zones. So it is going to come because it is in the rotational nature. You can rotate and we can bring to the point whenever, wherever necessary. So increase order picking throughput, improve inventory control, reduce warehouse space usage. So as I told you earlier, carousels will be designed specifically, tailor-made, custom for the case of individual product. So the quantity is prefixed. That is, one carousel will hold up to n number of parts. So there are so many carousels are available into for that particular part, into quantity per part, that is per carousel will be easily computed, and therefore improved inventory is ensured. Okay, so this is how the system will be developed. Inventory is stored in bins, trays or shelves attached to the carousel. When an operator requests a specific item, the carousel rotates horizontally or vertically to present the requested bin to the picking station. So it is something very easy to control, and controller based activities are like this. So initially we feed the data in this particular rack. These all are the components available. Rack number 1 of so and so product with so and so number. Likewise we are going to feed. So a simple computerized mechanism, a controller based mechanism, will fetch us the exact product what we require. So light directed picking and batching stations are often used to further increase picking efficiency and accuracy. So earlier we just saw about one category where we are going to use light based concept, that is display based concepts. So carousels are usually of that nature where display is going to be very easy and it will help us to get the products within a short time. So carousels have a very fast picking rate up to, so this is what today's industrial trend is, up to 400 lines per hour. So per hour they can pick 400 lines. So it might be either vertical or it might be horizontal. So 400 bins will be able to access, not bins, lines. In a line, we don't know how many number of carousels have we stocked. So that is how the multiplication of the product is going to be all about. This makes them advantageous to companies that prioritize storing and processing goods as quickly and reliably as possible. Their flexibility allows for more efficient picking processes by reducing time and storage cost. Yes, once you get the product as an inbound component, you can stack to the required numbers and you can position. So it becomes very easy for you to compute the number of quantities available. Time and again we need not to cross check. So it is as simple as this. So carousel picking minimizes the use of warehouse space by eliminating travel aisles, which reduces inefficient picking routes. So here we don't have any complex routing application. Rack 1, rack 2, rack 3, likewise we can dedicate for individual components, and now picking is very easy. There are some 10 racks are there, 12 products are there. We know under each rack what's the location of the product, and easily it is possible for us to pick them up. So they also have an advantage of a warehouse's available height, because they can be stacked on each top of each other to form 2 and 3 level systems. So we can keep growing, multiplying like anything till we utilize the space of the warehouse. Now, carousels are basically classified into two categories, horizontal and vertical. So the nature of stacking of the bin is going to determine the type, vertical bins or horizontal bins. Now we'll see one by one. The moment when we come across vertical bins, so vertical bins, immediately the concept, the example, the analogy which should strike you is a Ferris wheel or a giant wheel, what we call here. So it is going to rotate against one particular point. So now space utilization is going to be ensured. Of course, it's a fun-filled ride, but the same philosophy is adopted like this. So we can have racks rotating around a trajectory across an axis. Across an axis they are going to rotate. It need not to be circle, it can be elliptical, it can be oval, oblong, anyway, but it is going to be within a confined cuboid space, three-dimensional space, and it can be precisely controlled. So the system is going to be easily developed and easily we can identify, sort the product. So a vertical carousel is an automated storage and retrieval system. So it is a category under ASRS that efficiently utilizes vertical space by rotating carriers. So rotating carriers. So trays are going to be there. So these trays or bins can nicely be mounted onto the carrier, on the platform. So that's what a carrier means. So platforms are going to be there, and these platforms can be rotated easily in a closed loop, similar to a Ferris wheel. In short, we call it as a giant wheel, to bring stored items directly to an operator at an ergonomics access window. So how to understand it is, see, there might be a rack of say some 20 feet height. So it is highly impossible for a human to climb to the 18th feet or the 20th feet to get it. But it is going to operate on a rotating carrier. So and in usual, an operator might be work in the range of say 4 to 5 feet. It will be comfortable for them to handle. So at the 4th or 5th feet, we can provide a window and we can operate the ASRS system, so it rotates nicely and the appropriate requisite bin will be coming to the 4th or 5th opening, a window. So now it is easily accessible for the operator to access the bin. Maybe as such they can take the bin or they can take the requisite number of products as required. So vertical carousels maximize the space compared to traditional shelving systems, primarily by utilizing vertical warehouse space more efficiently and reducing the required floor footprint. So usually shelves will be completely stationary. They are going to be fixed. It is not going to be in dynamic condition. It is not in movable. So it is going to be permanent, and it is the duty of the operator to go himself, present himself to the topmost racks and to get the product, which is going to be a safety concern. But here it is not so. So here it is going to be not a static one, rather it is going to be a dynamic one, and it is easy for us, highly easy for us to pick that particular product and then to use. Unlike static shelving, which typically occupies significant horizontal floor area and is often limited in height. Example, shelving units around 10 feet tall in a 30-foot high warehouse. So this is one simple case where the height of the warehouse might be 30 feet, but when you are going for a static shelves, we can't go beyond 10 feet because safety concern. What will happen if you go and increase the thing? At any point of time, it may fall down. So therefore, safety concerns comes into picture. But here we need not to worry about it because everything is properly accommodated inside a cabin. Therefore, such falling or any such things need not to be thought of. Vertical carousels extend storage upwards, tapping into otherwise unused vertical air rights. This allows vertical carousels to store more items within a compact footprint, freeing up valuable floor area for other use. So now what is here means, on the top space we have got a certain top space. If we want to utilize, we can go with another story and again it can be stacked up. So some artificial floor can be created. So we can stack up likewise what we have in an apartment like structure where we have got mezzanine floor, ground floor, first floor, second floor likewise, or even concourse we can have. Okay, based on the need we can even have a concourse. So likewise we can provide floors, and each and every floor, it need not to be spanning across the length of the warehouse, even over one particular area it can be stacked up. So therefore it is going to get us very good utilization of volume, not only volume, even on the elevated surface it is going to help us to get very good floor area. So this is one simple example used in an operation theater. So there might be several tools being used here, and here this is what a simple case in a complicated operation theater which involves good amount of tools. So here you can see the rotating mechanism. So we have got the carousels being fit, and based on the height of the operator a window can be provided and they can easily select. So this rotation mechanism is going to be of either side, that is clockwise or counterclockwise. Therefore, accessing is going to be very easy. So no complex tasks and other things are involved. And other thing, you can see the full space, that is the full height, it has been utilized. So there is no space left vacant. So everywhere completely we are utilizing the space as well as the area. So this is one simple case. It is completely saving the floor space as well as the volume. And the other important task is ergonomic way. So operator can just operate, call for that particular requisite floor or requisite tray number or the platform number, and easily they can access the area. So key reasons for space maximization include small footprint. This is very important. Small footprint in the sense Operator will be available only in the small area. So within the small area, they are supposed to access everything. So vertical carousels are taller than they are wide, often only about 5 feet deep, which reduces floor space usage significantly compared to traditional shelving rows with multiple aisles. So the width is going to be maximum, it is going to be 5 feet. So therefore we are having effective area utilization as well as the volume utilization. High storage density. By stacking trays or bins vertically on a closed loop track, vertical carousels can provide storage capacities equivalent to multiple rows of shelving but in a fraction of the footprint, achieving floor space savings up to 70 to 75 percentage. So height, as I told you earlier, if you want to height, yes, it is possible. Even we can provide a floor on the mid air segment. Therefore we can utilize, not only we can utilize the space, also we can utilize the volume. So the footprint, the width, it is not going to completely occupy the area. So maximum space occupying can be of 5 feet, worst case of 6 feet. So within which we can develop a continuous system. It is going to be in a completely closed environment. So the dust parting settling down, everything is going to be overcome in this regard. Utilization of overhead space. So warehouses with high ceilings 20 or 30 feet more typically have large volumes of unused vertical space above shelving. So vertical carousels capitalize on this vertical volume to increase capacity without expanding the warehouse footprint. Yes, we can utilize even in the overhead space. Reduced aisle space. Traditional shelving requires wide aisles for manual picking and forklift access. Vertical carousels eliminate the need for multiple aisles by bringing inventory directly to the operator at ergonomic access window. So operator need not to climb. So wherever the position they are, just by accessing the buttons, they can get the things. Integrated automation. By automating item retrieval and delivery, vertical carousels speed picking and reduce operator travel time, making storage more compact without compromising access speed. Horizontal carousels. So now earlier we discussed about vertical, we saw about several advantages, but anywhere when we work on one particular technology there is going to be a counterpart, there is going to be a negative. So here what is a negative here is, think of if we are wanted to use heavy items, so the beam what we provide on either side, they are going to take up the entire load, they are the load bearing element. So that's going to be little bit tough. So the speed of operation is going to be little bit tough. So now we'll see the alternative of horizontal carousels. So horizontal carousels are automated storage systems that rotate bins or trays along horizontal oval track to deliver stored items directly to an operator at an ergonomic access point. So here everything it is going to be horizontal. Earlier case it was vertical, rotation was vertical, and now the rotation is going to be horizontal. They are particularly suited for warehouses with low ceiling where vertical storage options are limited. So this is the area where we prefer horizontal carousels. Now coming for the next case. So this is how they look like. So here we are going to have a track. So this track which is mounted on the space. So on the left image you can see these all are the tracks. Directly they are mounted onto the floor space. So they are the load bearing element. Whatever the load you provide in the carousels, these are the base which is going to structure, which is going to take up the entire load. Unlike the earlier case where two vertical pillars will take up the entire load, here it is not so. And rotation, so we can have a positive toothed type of belts or gear systems to rotate. So here you can see, so likewise we can rotate on clockwise or counterclockwise to achieve the position. Horizontal over track bins or carriers are mounted on a track that moves horizontally allowing quick rotation to present requested items to the picker. Heavy weight can be accommodated. This is what the crucial advantage is all about. We can accommodate heavy weight as no element is going to take, only the floor is going to take up the entire load. So therefore we can go ahead for this. Economic access. Items are delivered at comfortable waist to chest height. So based on the human nature, somewhere from waist to chest height, it is possible for us to access, reducing picker fatigue and some sort of risks. Okay, if they climb and then they get the product, the chances of falling down of the rack or of the human or the ladder might be high. Now that is completely overcome. So before we finish this particular presentation, so what we learned was, number one, we learned about inbound logistics, outbound logistics, and the third, intra logistics. So the physical process automation inside a warehouse is going to take place within the warehouse. Therefore, it is called as intra-bound. That is intra logistics. So within the warehouse only it is going to work out. So we saw only about carousel. Carousels are specially designed tailor-made bins which can accommodate certain products at certain quantities. So it cannot simply take n number of products. So restricted quantity, everything is going to be restricted, and the mere advantages, the quantity is having restricted. And coming for the second, there are two types are there based on the nature of orientation. It is classified into two. The first is vertical and the second is horizontal. So vertical, it is going to rotate on the vertical axis. So there is going to be an axis window which of operator side, say from waist to the chest, and they can easily take up, and they are very capable to go with multi storage levels, multi levels we can go ahead with. But when you come for heavy weight, no, they are not capable for it. So therefore the other alternative is going to be horizontal carousel. Horizontal carousel are very effective because they are mounted on the floor. They are mounted on the floor, so it is easily accessible and heavy weight products can be taken, and especially it is suitable for low ceiling warehouse. So this is what we saw. So with this we finish our this online lecture for this video, and in the upcoming cases we'll discuss about the shuttle, we'll discuss about crane and other conveyor system. Thank you.